What's going on, guys? So YouTube actually just came out with a new partnership program policy, and basically if I don't get 1,000 subscribers, I am shit out of luck in terms of being able to monetize my videos. It's unfortunate that small channels are taking a hit like this, but I guess if anything, it's going to be motivation. Get that 1,000 as soon as possible. I got about 30 days and we actually are pretty dang close, so I'm confident in you guys that we're going to get it. That being said, I really don't make a whole lot of money on YouTube, to be honest, and even if I got cut from the program, I would still make videos for you guys because I just enjoy it. But if you want to help your boy out, I would really appreciate it if you spread the word out and try to get me to 1,000 as soon as possible. You're not obligated to do it in no way, shape, or fashion, but I would really love it. So if you take the time out to let someone know about my channel, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks again, guys. Yo, what is going on, my dudes? Welcome to another RuneScape news coverage video. For this video, we're going to be talking about a forum post by ModPie regarding the state of 4-tick auto-attacking and continuous 4-tick auto-attacking. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so like I said, we're going to be talking about 4-tick auto-attacking as well as continuous 4-tick auto-attacking. If you do not know what that is, it's actually a method that high-level PvMers use specifically for mage because it only works for magic. It does not work for melee and range, which has also increased the DPS of magic beyond what range and melee could ever achieve, making it the best combat style to use. Essentially what they do is they're able to squeeze out an auto-attack in the same tick as some abilities, while also using both dual-wield magic and two-hander magic to make use of auto-attack speeds that you find on the dual-wield, but the power and damage of auto-attacks you find on a two-hander. Now there's guides out there of other YouTubers who will teach you exactly how to do it, so I'm really not going to go into, the nitty-gritty of exactly how to do it. That's not really the point of this video right now. If you want to learn, you can learn. It's not necessarily against the rules. They're not going to get punished if you want to do it. You can do it, but we're going to talk about exactly where it's going to go forward, and it is going to see some major changes. So let's get right into that. So basically at the last RuneFest 2017, they said that they really want to get rid of 4-tick auto-attacking. So they made their stance clear that they do not want it in the game, but they want to replace it with something of equal value in terms of the sense that 4-tick auto-attacking allows you to have an increased DPS by being way more attentive to the game because it is much more click intensive than just say your normal casual combat, and it does reward you greatly if you do it. So they wanted to take that core essence of it and incorporate it into the combat system, make it work with our abilities, etc., and not just have it bound to magic, make it work with range and melee as well. So they always had that in mind since way back in RuneFest 2017, almost half a year ago by now. Anyways, since then, 4-tick auto-attacking has become pretty much mainstream in the upper tier community, and an even more intense method, continuous 4-tick auto-attacking, emerged and has increased the DPS of magic significantly more than the other two combat styles. Now they were going to keep it in the game until they came out with these solutions, but apparently their stance has changed and it seems to have proved in their eyes more of a nuisance and more harmful to the game in terms of the balancing, to the extent that they decided that they want to make a change. So we're going to be talking exactly about those changes right now. So first up, what they have planned is they're no longer going to allow our auto attack swings to be reset, or more accurately, go backwards outside of legacy mode. If you perform an auto attack with, say, a rate 6 weapon, it's going to take 6 ticks before you can auto attack again, regardless of whether you change your weapon. This is going to prevent the most prominent bug with 4-tick auto attacking, in which you can perform auto attacks with staff damage at the same rate as a wand, like I talked about previously. Also, when you perform an ability, it will delay your auto attack swing by a minimum of 5 ticks. Just preventing the auto attack reset is not going to stop 4-tick auto attacking. It's only going to nerf its damage. You're still going to be able to delay by 4 ticks with a wand and then pop off an auto attack and an ability in the same tick, but by delaying your autos this much, you're going to be missing out on adrenaline and overall DPM if you continue to delay autos. However, this still will allow back-to-back auto attack to ability combos if you want. Now, some of you may have been asking, why not just add 4-tick auto attacking to melee and range? Short answer is they are working towards making all 3 combat styles feel unique in and of themselves. So simply just adding 4-tick auto attacking to those 2 other styles, which already all 3 of them feel very familiar, bar magic with 4-tick auto attacking. If you don't 4-tick, then all 3 styles pretty much feel like cookie cutter versions of each other. So adding 4-tick auto attacking to the other 2 styles is really not going to solve that issue, especially when they're trying to branch away from that. So that's the short answer. They don't want the combat styles feeling samey, so they're not adding 4-ticking to range and melee. So I've already said this early on, but I just want to reiterate because I want to drive this point home. They really want to keep the core principle of what 4-ticking represents, and that is, if I'm a player who's willing to put in more attention, be more attentive, be more interactive with my abilities, and be more strategic with the way I go about doing so, I should be rewarded with a higher DPS than somebody who doesn't choose to do these things. That is what they are aiming to preserve with these changes. So no, they don't care about incorporating 4-ticking into the current system at all. You're going to have to interact with your abilities in a different way that still sees you being more attentive and strategic in order to achieve that desired reward of a higher DPS than somebody who chooses not to. I know that's going to be frustrating to people who have mastered 4-ticking because that means that all of your knowledge is going to be null and void when this finally goes live, and you'll have to learn a new system that they incorporate in order to achieve those benefits you were receiving when you were 4-ticking. Honestly, there's not much more I can say about that. If you're somebody who really cares about your DPS, you're going to learn these new systems and you're going to incorporate them into your rotations regardless. So it is what it is on that regard. That being said, we're now going to look at some changes that ModPie has worked on in his tap time that's going to begin to give us a taste of what it's like with what he envisions as us interacting with our abilities and rotations more strategically for a better DPS. Bear in mind that everything on here is subject to change based on player feedback, so if you don't like what we're going to discuss in a moment, then tweet at ModPie and give your opinions, and you may see some of these changes be altered based on what you have to say. First up, let's look at magic. They're going to be adding a new purchasable ability through Shatter Worlds. This is going to be a new magic threshold with a dual wield requirement. When you activate it, your basic abilities will reset your auto attack swing, allowing you to pop off spells in between your abilities. On top of this, you will gain bonus damage on your auto attacks for each unique damaging spell you use while this buff is up. The passive effect will not be removed if you switch to a staff. Now, they say the purpose of this ability is basically to retain magic's uniqueness in that you can utilize spells during combat, but also actively reward players who interact during the uptime of the effect. This is going to require adrenaline cost as well, linking it to an ability that allows them to fine-tune the cost and reward for the extra DPS. This also adds a new magic ability alongside the existing, range and melee from Shattered Worlds. Moving on to range, there's going to be a new ability that you can get as a reward from Solak. So this is going to be a new ultimate ranged ability for all weapon styles. When you activate it, your global cooldown is lowered from 1.8 seconds to 1.2 seconds for a short time. For those of you who don't know, the global cooldown is that time between abilities. So in essence, this ultimate is going to allow you to pop off more abilities in a shorter span of time. The cooldown of it will be longer than Death Swiftness, since you'll be able to be mobile while it's up, and it isn't just an increased damage, but it's also an increase in adrenaline gain, because like I said, you'll be able to pop off more abilities in a shorter amount of time, and basic abilities, etc. give you adrenaline, therefore gaining more adrenaline in a shorter amount of time. It's important to note that with this ability, a revolution will not speed up while the buff is active. However, you can use revolution and benefit from this if you are manually activating your abilities. However, on Twitter, ModPie says it will be a pain if you're not making use of ability queuing. So the aim of this is to bring back that feeling of 2-tick abilities in a more structured and more balanced way. If they do this right, they can expect you to alternate between this and Death Swiftness. Moving on to melee. So Bladed Dive will get the ability to damage an opponent when you use it during global cooldown. So those of you who don't know, Bladed Dive can be used both on global cooldown and off global cooldown. That is, like I said, that time between abilities. So there is a default of 1.8 seconds before you can pop off an ability after you already pressed one. Bladed Dive has the ability to ignore that and can pop off immediately after another ability, but you do forfeit the damage to an opponent if you happen to use Bladed Dive on a target. They're now changing that so that it will damage those. It actually used to work that way in the past, so they're basically bringing that back. They're also going to be introducing their first update for weapon diversity. They're going to be looking at stabbing weapons, that is daggers, short swords, spears, and rapiers. They're going to have a chance to not incur global cooldown, which means if this happens to proc, you'll be able to instantly do another ability directly after you just did one. Again, with this, it's important to note that Revolution will not instantly trigger, so all the same caveats as with the range ability with that. They're also going to be converting the Khopesh of Tumekin to a stabbing weapon, just like its tier 82 counterpart. The point of this is to provide melee with a way to unlock it from the shackles of global cooldown and to reward people who are paying close attention to their abilities. So those are the proposed changes. These are not all the changes. These are just some of the early ones. And also, I can't stress this enough, remember, these are subject to change based on your player feedback. So if you absolutely do not like anything I talked about here, let ModPie know, and you may see those changes that you want be implemented. So please be a voice if you don't agree with what we talked about today. Anyways, that is it for the video, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed yet and you want to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. I am out. Peace.